Welcome back to Cooking Gluten and Dairy Free with Dave D. Today we'll be making some Jamaican Style Oxtail, but in an Instant Pot. The Instant Pot cuts down the cook time versus the traditional way of cooking it, but it keeps all the delicious succulent flavor that we love about oxtail. I'm adding some butter beans as that is how it's usually served in Jamaica. As usual, all the ingredients are gluten and dairy free, but feel free to use gluten and dairy products. So starting with our oxtail. Now oxtail is a very fatty meat, so we need to trim it down a bit so it doesn't come out too greasy. So use a knife or some kitchen shears to get rid of most of the fat depending on your preference. Once your oxtail is trimmed down, add it to a large bowl so we can clean it. Add some vinegar, rub the oxtail in the vinegar, and then rinse it a few times until the water runs clear. Next, use some paper towel to dry it down, and now it's time for seasoning. First, let's add some browning. I prefer to use browning from a Jamaican company called Grace, but that can be a little hard to find, so today we're going with Kitchen Bouquet, which is found in most grocery stores. Next, add some sea salt, garlic powder, onion powder, cayenne pepper, adobo seasoning, dry thyme, oxtail or poultry seasoning. Unfortunately, I was out of oxtail seasoning, so I went with poultry. You can also go with a beef seasoning. Next, add paprika, ground allspice, brown sugar, and gluten-free soy sauce. Next, massage all the seasoning into the meat until each piece is nice and coated. Next, we'll add the oxtail into a Ziploc bag so it can marinate overnight. If you're short on time, an hour or two is fine, but the longer you marinate, the better the flavor. While we're waiting for the oxtail to marinate, please do me a favor and hit the thumbs up below. Now that our oxtail has finished marinating, we can take it out the fridge so it comes up to room temperature and work on our veggies. We're gonna thinly slice half of our green onion stock and cut our other half into small chunks. Next, dice up one yellow bell pepper and one orange bell pepper. After that, cut some carrots into small chunks. Finally, dice up one yellow onion. And there you have it, the prep of our veggies is complete. Feel free to dice up some cloves of garlic as well, but I'll be adding garlic paste. As usual, the full ingredient list is in the description box down below. Alright, so now that we're all prepped, we can go ahead and start working on our oxtail. Get a cast iron skillet and put it on medium-high until it's smoking hot. Add avocado oil, or any high smoke point oil that you want, and some butter. Next, add your oxtail. We aren't going to fully cook it here. We're just getting some nice color on them before we put them in the Instant Pot. So cook them on all sides for about 1 to 2 minutes or until they have some nice color. Once they're done browning, remove them from the skillet and reduce the heat down to medium. Next, we're going to cook our veggies in some of the fat that the oxtail released. Add some more oil and some more butter to release the fat from the bottom of the skillet, and then add your veggies, minus the garlic and the garlic paste. Cook these for about 5 to 7 minutes or until they soften. So while they're cooking, add the juice that was left over from the Ziploc bag during the marination process. On cooking gluten and dairy free with Dave D, one of our many mottos is no flavor left behind. We got to capture all that flavor. So when the veggies cook down, add some garlic or garlic paste and let it cook for about a minute. Cut the heat and hit the subscribe button. Now get your metal insert for your Instant Pot and add the veggies to the bottom of it. Next, add your oxtail to the top of the veggies but in even layers. Add your low sodium beef broth until it's just below the top of your oxtail. Add a touch more soy sauce, some worm intestine sauce, a little bit of ketchup, and give it a gentle stir. Finally, add a few sprigs of fresh thyme. Alright, go ahead and remember to hit that like button and hit the subscribe button. After that, insert the metal insert back into the Instant Pot. Now we can seal it up and hit the meat and stew button. Or let it cook on normal high pressure for 50 minutes and then let it naturally release for 30 minutes. And by that I mean you don't manually hit the steam release button. Just let it come off slowly for 30 minutes like the Instant Pot is made to do. Alright, so now towards the end of our natural release time, let's go ahead and start prepping to make our gravy by making a slurry. For this, you'll add equal amounts of cornstarch and cold water. I'm using 4 tablespoons of each here. Stir it up, whisk it until it's smoother than them dudes in $2,000 shoes. Now we're going to release the residual pressure from our Instant Pot. and slowly open it. Remove all your oxtail and put it on a plate so we can work on our gravy. Now we're going to strain our gravy first. You can use a measuring cup and a strainer that fits. And now we're going to collect all that delicious flavor. Next, we're going to remove that top layer of fat from our gravy. So use a spoon and get rid of as much of that fat as you possibly can. Now, add the gravy back to the Instant Pot and put it on the saute setting and allow it to come to a boil. Slowly add your slurry while stirring the gravy. This will thicken the gravy. Next, add your butter beans and stir them in. This is going to add a lot of flavor and help the gravy thicken. Now, add your oxtail back to the pot. Now, we can add our chunks of green onion from earlier, a habanero, or Scotch bonnet pepper. Next, we're going to let that boil off for about 20 to 25 minutes so the gravy can reduce and all that flavor can incorporate. Make sure to stir every minute or so nothing sticks to the bottom. Now you can turn off your Instant Pot and there we have it, folks. Jamaican style oxtail with butter beans made in an Instant Pot. Gluten and dairy free, of course. So if you tried this recipe or if you're going to try this recipe, please let me know with a comment down below. Also, please hit the like button and consider hitting the subscribe button if you want to keep cooking up this deliciousness. We make our food gluten and dairy free, but feel free to use whatever product you want. Thanks for watching and we'll see you next time.